Hey everybody, so today we're going to be continuing our walk around the garden back here, looking at all the trees, talking about what we've got planted and what they do and all that. So we've got a bunch to cover and a couple of really interesting selections. Start off here at this side, right at the end of the bed. I have a yew. I want to say this, I think this tier is Hicksii. It's a pretty common upright yew, but hey, it's common for a good reason. It's a very serviceable plant, grows straight up, nice dark green foliage. This guy is suffering a little bit. It's been transplanted a couple times in the last couple years, so had a rough start, but it's pushing out a lot of new foliage and is yeah, filling in pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It first started out at the other side of the pergola at the corner, so actually I'm on the third thing on the corner right there, but I just keep changing my mind, so keep moving stuff around. But it'll probably stay here for the next, oh boy, who knows how long. So I'm not sure if I'll leave it as it is or limit up or what. So it'll get a trimming at some point to get rid of some of those loose ends on it. But very cool upright evergreen. We don't have much trouble with deer here, so it'll work well. If you have deer, I'm afraid you can't really use these because the deer really like them, but we don't have much trouble here, so yeah, no worries. Next up is this Boldsmith maple. This is medium green over summertime. Really nice red, kind of orangey red new growth, and the leaf is exceptionally lacy. So it's a very fine texture. Boldsmith is pretty much interchangeable with one called Watnung. I've gotten them both at the same time, and they're basically identical. From what I've read, is it's basically the same tree. It's a different name. So I think Boldsmith has some more popularity. But if you have Watnung, it's probably the same tree. Good fall color. I don't quite know how tall it's going to get. This is its second year from about a 2-gallon size tree. So the head was about so big when it went in, and it pretty much doubled. So I'm seeing some vertical growth, and as it fills out, we'll just move things away from it and let it fill out. This is one of the trees I want to keep in here. I think I may mention before, you know, it's overplanted at the moment, but as things grow, I'll just move them out and keep some of my more prized things in there and let them mature. So that's the idea anyway. So next up we have this Ruby Teardrops spruce. This is a interesting little spruce that comes out with a red cone in the spring. So these are little cones. No, it's last year. This year, here's this year's cones. These would have been bright red in May. So it's almost kind of like a bloom. You can think of it as a bloom. Really neat color, bright red pink, and then it turns to brown as they mature. And yeah. Now wait a second. Okay, I think I'm straight on this saying here. These were the pollen-bearing cones. This is a seed-bearing cone. So here's some second-year seed-bearing cones, and for whatever it's worth. This one's going to be probably about waist high, 3 to 4 feet, tall and wide. A little bit wider than tall, I believe, but I haven't had them that long. But the best time of interest on this here is mid-spring, when they've got good color on their cones. And then just to my left here, I've got a Chinese fringe tree. This is the Chinese version of the American fringe tree. Flowers are similar, very soft white flowers, and this one is, I would say, not fragrant. I think you can catch a hint of fragrance if you're I don't know, the right day, the right time when they're in bloom, but mostly unscented. This one will mature pretty wide. I'm thinking about 10-15 feet wide. I will probably try and prune it to keep it in shape as long as I can. Got a couple of close neighbors here that I don't want to crowd out, so I've easily got 5-6 years to go before I have to do much to it or think about removing it. So let's see here. The next thing as far as a tree is concerned is there's a western arborvitae here in the back. It's this one was called Gold Tip. I was a gift from my dad. He had gotten it from some nursery in South Carolina. They were calling it Gold Tip. It has a nice gold tip in the spring. It pretty well greens out the rest of the year, so not especially colorful, not nearly as colorful as the one I've got on the other corner, that little globe Piccadilly. That one there has a lot more color, but I like the structure of this. Very tall, very narrow, and yeah, it's not super bright, but it's got a good form. So yeah, we'll see what it does. I think I mentioned the American smoke tree a little bit ago. I'll just step in here. So this is the American version of the like a purple smoke tree. If you've seen those, this is native to the I guess central East Coast, somewhere around there, Tennessee and whatnot. Similar flower. The flower has more of a pinkish tint to it, and the fall color is phenomenal. When these things light up in the fall, there are a few things brighter than the American smoke tree. It's one of the best. Mature height on this here is probably about 20 feet. This one's pretty young yet, but they're not super wide. I think they're going to be about 8 to 10 feet wide. So it'll be interesting to see what this does over the years, if it maintains that kind of high canopy, or if it puts off some sprouts at the bottom. They tend to sprout from the lower parts of their trunk. So we'll see what it does, but very neat, very underused. I would love to sell more of those, but they've just not been that popular. This is a dwarf Japanese maple called Coonara Pygmy. Medium green leaves. Young foliage has a bit of a kind of reddish pink blush to it, but then it greens off. The brightest colors you'll see are going to be in the fall, but pretty tight habit. I'm seeing a growth of about maybe 7-8 inches on the longest tips, 3 to 4 inches on the shorter tips. So I'm not sure where it'll mature out to, but this is probably one that can stay here for a good number of years. But yeah, fall is the best time of year on this variety. So this is one you could grow in a pot if you like to. It's compact enough that it'll tolerate that, and hardy enough for this area that you'll be all right. And there's also an evergreen magnolia. I believe this one's called Blanchard. I would expect to see a bit more of the brown fuzzy underside of the leaf on that than that one, but I'm not seeing too much right now. I think it'll get there as he gets older. But that's a good one. We plan to use that in our Christmas wreaths. So we'll be using this here for branches for trimming from. So this will be able to stay for a good number of years. It'll mature out pretty tall, but we'll keep that prune to about 12, 15 feet, somewhere around there, and should do well for quite a while. The one thing you sacrifice with heavy pruning is going to be your flowering performance. So they need their second year wood to produce buds to give flowers. So we won't be getting a lot of flowers on this one, but it will produce a lot of nice branches. So we won't be cutting all of it off, but it won't be blooming nearly as much as some of the ones that I have just for fun, just to enjoy. And I think we'll wrap up today with the tree in the corner. That is a American elm called Triumph, one of the disease-resistant American elms. That is a, let me think here, probably 4 to 5 year old tree. And it's about 15 feet tall, something like that. So that would have been, I want to say, it's probably about 5 years from just a wee little sprout. So very fast growing. I've pruned off some of the branching to make it a little bit sturdier, a little more open, and I'll be working on that over the years as it grows. I want to keep it. I want to try and get that structure just right. That was the first tree I put in this garden. And I figured a tree named Triumph to start off is a pretty good start. So there's a lot of great American elm varieties in the trade now. So we have a few of them this year. This one's supposed to have the typical, classic vase shapes, a big, tall trunk, tall canopy. Nice arching branches, and these easily get to 65, 70, 80 feet tall in time. That takes 50 years to do that, but they are a nice tall American tree. So yeah, that's it's going to be throwing shade in here over the years, which will be kind of fun. We'll get to change this up from a full sun garden to a partial shade garden, and just try to enjoy every phase of it and fiddle with the perennials and all that as the exposure changes. So yeah, that's probably it for today, and we'll catch up next time with some more of the trees back here, and keep on rolling. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching. To see more of our videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can see when new videos get uploaded. And we'll see you again soon.